get into this Breakfast Club stuff. And I'm exhausted even thinking about having to make this commentary. I'm going to go ahead and let y'all hear a snippet of Jess's issue. And then I'm going to chime in. Then I'm going to give Loren's side. And we're going to break this thing on down.
Ever since I came back, it was weird. Yes, it was weird. Yeah, I at first, no, I did not. I wasn't too fond of Loren. No, I wasn't too fond of her when I came back because we had a whole plan. Even how when I came back, how I picked her to fill in for me, right? I come back, she ain't never leave. Then, all right, cool that she don't leave, but she's on only during my segment. If she was meant to be a fourth host, move her in another way. Why she got to be moved in on? Because nobody had a problem with Jess with the best until she started reading right. You know what I mean? Till she started reporting. I wasn't hired as a reporter. I was hired as Jess with the mess. So she started reading and delivering details and all that stuff. Yes. Then that's when Jess with the mess wasn't good enough no more. That's how it was presented. So I'm like, all right, cool.
Who said that though? Because the internet said
what
that?
are we talking about? No. This is our listeners. This is yeah. Why can't we? Ever since I came back, it was weird. Yes, it was weird. Yeah, gonna be a fourth voice. Why she only got to be a fourth voice? On my segment.
She wasn't a fourth voice. She was a producer. She was hired as a news producer to help with getting all news and doing interviews.
She was going to be the senior news producer.
She wasn't on there. When you came back, Loren was not on there. She was in the back doing questions, sending interview questions, reporting the news. Am I lying?
I thought she was.
She was on air.
Ask the question.
What?
Why didn't you wear the do-rag this morning?
Because
why you joke so much, man?
What you mean?
All right, guys, y'all can go check out the rest of the video for yourself. It gets pretty lengthy. I'm going to take my time and freak this right. So first and foremost, Jess Hilarious's feelings are 10 million% valid. Her feelings are 10 million% valid. Okay. I'm going to use this analogy. Let's say you're a teacher, you're a school teacher or whatever. You go out on maternity leave. Okay. They put a substitute in your classroom. And then when you come back from maternity leave, your principal says, you know what? The kids like Miss Rivera so good, and Miss Rivera has been doing so good with the kids. And we noticed that there has been a uptick in the kids' test scores. We gonna leave Miss Rivera in that classroom to help you do your job side by side with you. Okay. That would make anybody feel a type of way, because in reality, I gotta stop saying in the reality of the situation, because I feel like I lean on that phrase a lot. But the reality of the situation is management, the ratings, Charlemagne, Envy, and the powers that be at the Breakfast Club definitely see a whole lot of value in Loren. They see a whole lot of value in Loren, and that's a great thing for Loren, and it's not a takeaway from Jess. They see a lot of value in her, and when she filled in for Jess, they were like, oh crap, we got something here. And then what ends up happening from an organizational standpoint, because you got to understand, from the organizational standpoint, it ain't about none of them. It's about the organization. It's about the Breakfast Club brand. And management and the higher ups have decided Loren is good for the brand. All right. They've decided Loren is good for the brand. The viewers seem to take to her, and we don't want to let her go. I think the problem is that if they were going to keep her on as a fourth host, I don't think they communicated things to Jess and the team properly. You know how sometimes organizations and leaders just kind of let things just kind of be loosey-goosey and organically. And it feels as if nobody from management came downstairs and flat out said to everybody what the new lay of the land was. And somebody should have come downstairs and said, listen, guys, Loren was originally supposed to be here just as Jess's replacement while she was on maternity leave, and she was supposed to revert back to being a producer. After being on screen, we realized that it's good for the numbers and it's good for the brand. So what we are going to do, and here was the critical part, they should have reassured Jess, we would like to reassure you that your job is not in jeopardy, nor is she coming in here to replace you. We would like to add her as an ad hoc member of the team, and we are going to give her her own unique segment that is completely different from Jess with the Mess. Jess with the Mess is that girl's personal branded stuff. All right. And I always thought it was weird, even when Jess was on maternity leave, and they're like, now we're doing Jess with the Mess. And then Loren was talking. I just don't understand from a production standpoint who thought that that was smart to call such a signature segment Jess with the Mess and have anybody doing it other than Jess. Number one, if I was producing that show, the Jess with the Mess segment would have gone away until Jess with the Mess returned. It would have been called Trending Topics, Hot Topics, in the news today, from the blogs, from the internet. What's the 411? You know what I'm saying? It's all one and the same. Jess calls hers Jess in the Mess. When I'm on Hot 105 here in Miami, mine is called The Funky Files. Wendy Williams is called Hot Topics. It's all one and the same. We all know what they're talking about, but they should have never called it Jess with the Mess and used her to do it. I think the biggest problem is when people are playing in your face. There is nothing worse than when an individual comes to work and they feel job insecurity. It's nothing worse than when, you know what I'm saying, you show back up to work and it's like, y'all knew I was coming back to work on April 1st. Why is her stuff not cleared out from my cubicle? And if she and I are to share a cubicle, then why hasn't somebody from HR and management come down with new job descriptions and sharing what each person's distinct role is? Not to mention the fact that Charlamagne and Envy are just as co-hosts, and y'all are not advocating for Loren to leave, then that means you're advocating for her to be there, which means y'all like Loren there as well. And it's not a problem with Loren being there. Thirdly, Jess, I would have never sat on a very platform where I'm being critiqued for not being able to read right and not being able to provide a level of detail orientation with the stories and been like, nobody had Jess with the Mess until she came on and was able to read right. Because essentially, Jess, you just pointed out what the issue was. Jess, you just pointed out that you were weaker in that box than she is. So the reality of the situation, if I'm being perfectly honest, since it's been decided that Loren can read right and provide the level of detail orientation that seems to be better suited for the brand, I actually think that y'all need to do away with the Jess is the Mess segment, seeing as though Loren seems to be doing it a little bit better. Y'all need to let Loren do a rebranded version of Jess with the Mess, and then y'all need to give Jess something that she can own, that is uniquely hers, that she is confident in doing, and that she is the only one who can uniquely do that segment. Either that, or y'all need to leave her with Jess with the Mess and create a very distinct segment for Loren to do. But I think, seeing as though they've already saw the benefit of Loren doing the hot topic Jess with the Mess, you know, she's got the background, guys. She's got the journalistic background, and she's a producer. Clearly, she's going to do it better than Loren. Now, Jess, what I would have done, and a lot of people's pride won't allow them to, I would have asked Loren off air, could she coach me a little bit? You know what I'm saying? On what is her routine, on how she pulls her stories, how she studies her stories, how she remembers the facts, how she outlines the stories. That's what I would have done to uh try to strengthen myself in being there. Now I'm going to be very honest with you though, and I think that there are a little bit of mistruths going around. Um, Jess was like, "I don't have a problem with you being here," and I'm not in Jess's head or her heart, but I don't think that that's 100% true. I think that no matter what, if you brought this person in to fill in for me, and then I come back to work and this person is still here, there's always going to be a feeling of, damn, they must think I'm a little inadequate because this person is still here. This show was a 3-person show from the time Angela Yee was here. It's been a 3-person show all them years. It's been a 3-person show all while I was on maternity leave or whatever. Now, all of a sudden, I come back and it needs to be a 4-person show. I would, no matter what those people said to me, I would constantly feel like I'm inadequate and I'm not good enough, because why is it when on my position they brought a 4th person in? But there is a way that this could be fixed, and this is a management issue. And you know, somebody in the comments asked me, were there any parallels between TGIF and this that I could draw? And absolutely. And the parallels that I drew were the lack of communication from management that caused a lot of problems within the cast. And that is exactly what's going on over here. I'm gonna move on from this Breakfast Club story because we are already at 8:30. Loren did respond to it, or whatever the case may be. Y'all can well, I'll let it play. Fuck it.
This is East Side High, West Side, whatever high we gonna be. We here and we together, so we got to figure this out. And it's not, everything's not a joke. And I can understand some of where you was coming from, but bro, part of that live I thought was crazy. I'm like, what, Jess? Like,
what part did you think was crazy?
What part? Because like, one, it's not like you didn't hear anything in that live that I haven't said to you. I heard a lot that you didn't say to me. Okay, so what part did I not say to you? Okay, so the part about the talking over each other and the hush, be quiet, because you talk about how you feel in real time, right? Yeah, I'm feeling in real time. That be quiet. That was crazy. Crazy. The shut up. I was like, oh, okay, because what we really giving up here? Like, what's up? Okay, right? But I didn't. None of that was said. You didn't say anything about that. And then when I pulled you into the office with our EP with Eddie, the first thing I said to you was, Jess, we fighting for airtime and it shouldn't be like that. I want to know what can I do better as a producer? What can we do better? Because this is East Side High, West Side, whatever. About the stories and things like that. You've never said what you just said to me. Now listen. I have said, hush, shut up. Yo, you overtalk. And like I said, I'm not about to be up here fighting for no mic. Like, I'm not doing that. If I already got the job, like, what am I doing? Like, I'm not. It's 4 voices. 3 of us are very opinionated. You know what I mean? Me, you, and Charlamagne. I'm not saying Envy don't got no opinion, but he don't jump in every single time there's dead air. You know what I'm saying? When you overtalk. And it's like the only time you can quiet down is somebody be like, shut up or hush. My mom don't even tell me shut up, Jess. I'm a grown. And I understand you could have said that on air right then and there.
Jess Hilarious going out bad. She going out bad. There's never a circumstance in the workplace where you tell somebody to shut up or hush. And more importantly, a live on air personality type of job. You don't never tell nobody live on air. It looks bad. It gives the fodder to the fans to make them think, oh, y'all are fighting. Y'all don't get along. I'm going to tell y'all something. I don't like the way this looks at all. But I will tell you one thing that I love what the Breakfast Club did. They leaned into it. I love that the Breakfast Club leaned into it. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to lie. If I was management and I was an executive at a company, Jess after that live she did, she would have been placed on suspension. Okay. Despite the fact that Jess's feelings are valid, the way she went about it, she would have been placed on suspension. Because you went on live and created a shitstorm of controversy that now we have to deal with on this show. And I love that they're making the most of it, you know, and perhaps it's helping the ratings and whatnot. But listen, this type of ratings hike is temporary, all right? Because this is not going to hold viewers. By Monday, once this becomes old, the numbers are going to fall back to what they are. And truthfully, I can already tell y'all how this goes. Once Jess's contract is up, if they decide they don't want her, they're simply just going to say, we've chose to go a different route and we're not going to renew your contract. So all we can do is watch how this plays out. I don't watch The Breakfast Club, but I like Loren from the little bit that I've seen. I like Jess, and maybe having 4 of them is the answer. I'm not sure, but we just got to let it ride and see how it goes, guys.